World Championship game number 1 starts right now. Kanata will have to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe. No! Kanata falls! Malabuka comes out on top. It's all or nothing now. The end game is already theirs. The clutch is possible. And Vino wins the game!
This is starting to look a pretty familiar, Monster. And just like that,
Stain and Data's landing directly on top of Seti and Cammy. Cammy finishes the job. They strike back. J-Cord, he knows he's got a couple opportunities here. It's all or nothing now. One shot will be it, but no. And Shari take home the second game now alongside Giras. This sounds like you are ready. I am too.
this is looking like Acorn and Cold's game for the taking.
Larpax is still going, but NA takes the game. Acorn and Cold, the shrug.
He's making it look like it was easy.
It just takes one big game to that top 25. It's Malabuka who does it yet again. Oh my gosh, what did we just witness from King? Does he go back to back? This man is on fire. Sphinx and Poyo drop them into the palm of their hands, and they take the game. NA on top, thanks to Poyo and Sphinx. Let's get this last and final game underway. On the high ground, it's Yamzo and Rise, but Threats does it yet again, trying to go ahead and keep him and Booga's dream alive.
And we are seeing one of NA's finest with a victory royale for the day close.
Remember, we want to end the day in top 25 to go straight on through to Sunday. Fortnite fam, welcome back to the FNCS Global Championship. This is day number 2. Yesterday, we watched the upper bracket face off, and from there, the bottom 25 moved on here. Not only will we see them compete, but the 25 duels from the Last Chance Major will also take the stage. And once again, the goal is the same. Top 25. Is Vivid, it's Mini Minor. My boys, how are we feeling in day number 2?
FNCS Global Championship. We have officially made it. Of course, day number 2, the lower bracket. Manny, I don't think I could have asked for a better day number 1, right? We pretty much got everything that we really wanted, right? A lot of action. Those 5 games were just packed full of stuff that we talked about all day long, and I'm excited to run it back.
I had high expectations of the Global Championships, and it delivered on every part yesterday. Today's going to be even more crazy. We have the lower bracket, the final chance for these teams to qualify to the Sunday finals. I cannot wait, because the energy in here already is electric.
Yeah, the fans here in the arena, y'all have been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming out. Not only have you made the experience amazing for the players, but for us and everyone back home, they can feel your roar. So if you guys get hype, all the viewing people from home, they will get hype as well. Especially, you know, some of our French community over here in the stand.
There they are.
That's right. Y'all feel free to go wild. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Now, as we start to kind of focus in on the competition, many names looking to try and make that top 25. I wanted to ask you guys, before we kind of get rolling, how do we feel about the competition coming into today? So obviously we had a bottom 25 yesterday. Is the pressure different coming into the lower bracket?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Yesterday, it was like, hey, you know, if we didn't make it through to the finals, we got tomorrow. Now, there's no more of that, right? We have an elimination day on our hands. The bottom half of the teams today will be going home. And of course, the top 25 going straight into those finals. Can't wait to see what our final 50 looks like.
Yeah, and of course, we have some teams that did play yesterday as well, so they have had experience under these lights in this arena and in this environment, so they might have a little bit of an upper hand onto those that just came in today. I'm excited to see how that dynamic works throughout the day. Will we see some teams doing better because they have that experience, but we have an entirely different lobby here, an entirely different drop map. Anything can happen.
So much to talk about, but first, we wanted to make rounds. We got to see what is going on around the arena. Let's head on up to our casters for them to say hello.
Thank you so much, Zeke. This has been amazing so far, and it's only day 2. It's going to get bigger, it's going to get better, and this lower bracket, I guarantee you it is not going to disappoint.
We keep talking about the stakes that are involved with trying to make it into that Sunday Global Championship final, but for these teams today, if there's anything that Day 1 was able to teach us, it's the fact that that top 25 pretty much unpredictable. Anything can happen just about, and sometimes all it takes is one good game.
Yeah, literally only takes one good game. We've seen teams qualify in Game 4. We saw teams qualify in Game 5. It was actually a couple of teams waited to the last minute to qualify. It was like a buzzer beater type finish, and I don't expect anything less here today.
And I think one of the most fun aspects as well, aside from the fact that this crowd has been absolutely electric all weekend long so far. I mean, games
はい、10月14日土曜日、夜の配信です。皆さんこんばんは。ミックルちゃんこんばんは。ムギちゃんこんばんは。めいめいこんばんは。いいわちゃんこんばんは。今日はね、ちょっとね、FNCS の観戦しようかなと思って、ね、今日は。ちょっと楽な配信だけど、自分の声は聞こえてるかな。あと29分後開始。頑張ってみんなね、日本を応援しよう。おー、サンダルくん。お、こんばんは。みんなよく勝ちやね。何言ってるか分かりません。英語分かりません。日本語にね、変えてくれたらいいんだけどな。
from Japan and North America are going to say when their favorite duos take to the stage in just a short while, because everyone here is united by their love of Fortnite and
ね、今日30分間視聴があるからみんなね忘れずにね、無料報酬もらえるからねこれね。日本語の字幕とか出てくれれば分かりやすいね。マッチはね、まあそれは関係なくなるからね、結局、まあプレイを見てね。あと28分後じゃん。ちょっと早かったかな。何言ってるか分かりまへん。そう、無料報酬もらえる。これ30分間見てればもらえるから。だから自分は今この配信始めて7分前だからあと23分見ればね無料報酬もらえる。なんかみんなね FNCS 見て。 FNCS じゃないかこれ。グローバルチャンピオンシップか。でも FNCS って書いてあるからね。昨日からね一応始まってるんでね、11時からね。無料報酬けど何？あ、あれか、見守りかかってんのか。頑張って一斉は見たいな。疲れちゃってね。なんで見てるの？クリエのやつで、FNCS のやつあるはずだよ。FNCS のやつがある。ちょっと待って、調べとくね。ちょっと待って。待って。レジェンズなんとか、ちょっと待って、マップコード言うね。
$1 million. I haven't let that sink in yet somehow. $1 million going to our first place team. $500,000
一応マップコード一応、
打っとこうか。
30分以上で無料報酬。ちょっと待って、今打つから無料をよし、今打ったよ。固定ショックか一応。3303-7480-5925ね、こちらの方でね、30分以上視聴で、無料報酬がもらえます。ね、みんな忘れずにね、これね。で、2日目ってことか。
Thank you for being awake, crowd. We appreciate it. But so many names on this just first page. I mean, what does that say?
日本の選手どこにいる？
Clicks an epic whale?
アジア、あったあったあった。アジアあるね。アジア2チームか。あ、3チームか。アジアって書いてあるね。
And you know, there's a storyline here for every single one of those duos. We got to think about the year to actually make it here to the lower bracket.
誰か賢い人はあれ通訳して。これあれだよ。だからタイトルに書いてある通り、グローバルチャンピオンシップ、ワールドカップってことだよね。世界大会。
Yeah, and definitely every single player has a different storyline. Every single team has a different storyline as well. All doing it for different reasons under different circumstances, but the goal remains the same for every single one of these duos. Make it into that top 25, or you're going home. That's all that matters.
かっこいいよね。
Well, let's start focusing this up. Let's talk about some duos. Let's start with BR.
まあ高評価だけお忘れずにね。そう、フォートナイトのね、世界のナンバーワンを決める大会だね。もうみんなあれだよ、もううますぎるからね、ほんと。フォートナイト大会、ブーガみたいな。ブーってなんだ？ブーってなんだろう。魔人ブーあ、高評価文字ありがとう。ありがとう。助かる。
I mean, they've been doing very, very well.
待って、FTC の方でちょっと接続してた方が見やすいな。
Any sort of that happened. 35th yesterday. Can they pick it back up today?
I mean,
マジンブーって何？あ、マジンブーじゃない。ブーって何？あ、ブーガ。あーね。ブーガか。いや、前、あれ、優勝した人あれでしょ。神選手。神選手。ね、トロフィーかっこいいよね。アンケート一応やっとくか。
Yeah, that's got to be my favorite part, right? You take a drop map of day number 1 and then of day number 2 in the lower bracket. You try and slam those together. It's chaotic. We continue the conversation about duos, though. Let's go on over to NA, Peterbot and Byla.
高評価を忘れなくてね、以上入れとくか。あと22分。
Yeah, I know him. He knows me. We're always ready for anything.
Peterbot and Byla. NA, of course, listen, I always throw in a little bit of a bias, so right now I'm going to do that. Love the story. I think it's one of my
6名様ありがとうございます。今、グローバルチャンピオンシップのね、観戦で、映してるだけですね。よろしくお願いします。
But after that, they were like, nah, we don't really want to do it anymore. And throughout this year, actually, majors 1, 2, and 3, they were not a duo.
開始まであと21分52秒。
Right after major number 3, a weekend later, we had the last chance major. So somehow, in between those 2 weekends, they were like, you know what, let's join forces again. And they paired back up for the last chance major. And Mini, they absolutely crushed it.
I mean, what a
あんまりチャット欄ね、見ることは多分ないと思うけど。
They came out in first place, and for Peterbot, he's been playing with a different teammate every single major. So to come through in last chance major and absolutely pop off, it's absolutely insane. He's gone. He played with Booga in major number 1. He played with Quanti. He's played with Larson. He seems to be playing with every. He might play with you soon, Vivid. Who knows? But that is what it's all about. I like this though, because of course they're going back to what they know best. They
あと20分後なら面白くなるからね。
Why split up? So now they're back together. They're playing good, and they're landing at Sanguine Suites. So we know that Booga and Threats qualified from there yesterday. If they do qualify today, could we see a little contestation in grand finals?
Man, I hope so. That's all I want. As much battling, as many off-spawn fights.
観客もいっぱいだよ。満員じゃん。
Now, crowd, I think you guys will be excited about this next duo. Mr. Savage and Vidil.
昨日はね、こうやってフル画面でね、映すことができなかったからね。
Called last chance major as well, so it'd be like crazy comeback story, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be actually crazy, man. Like I don't know.
そう、人多いよね。
I'm happy then. This is like,
yeah, the gold trophy.
さすがね、フォートナイトね、人気あるっていう証拠だよ、本当。
Then we get, I think I go vacation.
こんなの部屋に飾ったらもうすぐあれだよ。なんかね、盗まれそうだよね。大体の人はさ、やっぱクラン所属の人が多いからさ、やっぱりそのクランのさ、 なんかそういうところに置いてそうじゃない？高評価を忘れなく入って押そうと思ったら、いいえ、ナイスナイスじゃないか。大丈夫よ。うん、間違えたんだったらいいよ、別に。うん。マップ映ってるね。ね、画質がね、なんか途中でね、ちょっとね、悪くなることもあるから、ちょっと。うん。こんなの盗まれたらね、貴重なね、トロフィーだからね、ショックが大きいよね。でもさ、やっぱり賞金でさ、ね、がっぽりお金が入るからさ、いい家に住んでさ、セキュリティもさ、よくしてさ。あと20分切ったね、とうとうね。ね、みんな、あれ、あんま無理しないでね、夜遅くまでね。自分はね、ほんと眠くなるまで、ちょっと限界まで頑張ってくる。ちょっと疲れはあるんだけどね。この人イケメンね。何選手？ミスターサベージっていうの？サベージ選手？イケメンだね。
So much experience under your belts. Has he taught you anything about performing well on land?
英語習ってたけどわかんねえ。ね、これ見てあれね、辞書で調べながらちょっとね勉強しよう。あ、そうやさん、お疲れ様です。こんばんは。お邪魔します。ありがとうございます。ちょっとね、ちょっと楽なんですけど、まあ FNCS のね、観戦の無料報酬というのがあるんで、まあ固定欄にも書いてある通り、あ、固定欄、あれ固定欄消えた？あれ固定欄が消えた。FNCS の、30分視聴で無料報酬というのがあるんで、それでやってます。これ、あれ固定欄が見れない？あれ
Yeah, hopefully nobody lands on us. Yeah, I think I remember you saying 10 grand finals you've been contested at. If someone does drop near you today,
固定アンケートやっちゃうと固定欄貼れなくなっちゃうんだよ。アンケートちょっと消そう。アンケート消しましょう。
I think you need to look down that camera and give them a warning.
アンケート消し、あ、これで OK。出てきたね、固定欄ね。すごい人いる。そうやさんのね、リンクの方もあられていますんで、ね、よろしくお願いします。まあ FNCS のね、ちょっと観戦だからね、ちょっと同説が非常にひどいけど、ね、見てる方ね、ぜひね、登録してない方、よろしくお願いします。命名のもね、貼ってありますんでね、よろしくお願いします。ね、観戦もね、結構ね、面白いよ。ほら、やっぱりさ、人の、やっぱプレイしてるときもさ、人のプレイを見るっていうのはね、勉強になるじゃん。やっぱり、何でもさ、学習してさ。ね、まあいろいろね、早すぎてね、難しいけどさ。こんな時間に配信するなんて自分めったにないよ、ほんと。朝配信だから。まあ、確かに強い人のプレイを見ていろいろ学ぶのね、でしょ？その通りなんですよ。ね。あ、ぜぜもちさんおはようございますって言いそう。朝配信のあれくせで。皆さんこんばんは。ありがとうございます。ね、FNCS じゃなくて、なんだっけグローバル覚えるのが大変だ。グローバルチャンピオンシップのね、観戦でね、少しだけやろうかなと思って。ね、1位60ポイント、65ポイント、2位が66ポイント。ね、見た通り。25位が2ポイント。 ね、こんな舞台に立てるだけでもすごいよ、ほんと。ね、マジ、ほんと日本頑張ってほしい。
I mean, yeah, I mean, throughout the majors, right, we saw a lot of teams actually being willing to contest for it, but it seems like now there's just a lot of perspective. Maybe the strategies haven't really been built around Rift Island because they don't want to go for something that is as risky. So,
me me, 挨拶ありがと
う。They just get it.
It just comes down to experience, I think. It just comes down to experience on that island. You don't want to be trying.
ね、あと14分54秒もあるからね、ちょっと。なんかラグいね。止まるんだよ、なんか、モニターの方。なんかこれ結構ね、観戦しながら喋るの結構大変だぞ、これ。内容が。
I'm so curious myself, of course. We have players and they are excited.
あ、子供が後ろで遊んでるよ、なんか観客席の。なんか踊ってるよ。どこの選手だろう。あ、まあ見てわかんないよ。
Leading up to the last chance major, I wasn't that nervous.
라류さん?
بزيادة إن راح نتأهل لأن إحنا من أفضل الأيام اللي تأهلوا لللاست chance finals.
Qualifying through the last chance major. Definitely a sign of relief. All year round, we were kind of close on the edge of it.
右の人は誰？日本人の人？
Last chance was a great feeling. I was in my seat, like shaking. I'll be honest. Like I was like, all
right,
like, this is actually about to be over if like he gets.
みんなわかるかな？見てて名前見てわかる？
My duo, 6 FNCS wins. Solo clutch. No solo clutch. Brought it home. The coach could get all mad, but at the end of the day, we qualified. We went to.
わかんないよね。大会っぽくするためにコーラ飲みます。飲んじゃって。ね。でも日本人選手のさ、こういうインタビューも出るんじゃない？これからね。ザゴーさんだっけ？
A gente consegue ver como os players vão estar jogando, como que vai ser o meta.
プロのね、プロゲーマーの人よりも自分配信者さんのね、そういう有名配信者さんの方が名前わかるからな。
Como vai ser o campeonato no segundo dia.
I think a lot of people in the lower bracket can do a really good job.
リーバーっていうのかな？リーバー選手。
We're definitely in it to win. I mean,
I didn't fly 12 hours. 10-hour layover.
ね、みんな嬉しそうだね。みんなもあれだよ。ね、コツコツ練習頑張ってさ、頑張ろう。ね。ね、夢は最後まで追いかけて。日サ、サベージって読むのかな？サベージ選手。この人もイケメンだね。あと12分だ。ね、あともう少し始まるよ。そうと始まるよ。
What it looks like for him over in Mega City, going up against Jamon, who played yesterday but was in the lower half, the bottom 25.
あと12分。ね、アイテムショップのカウントみたいだね、ほんとね。ね、マップ、ね、みんなが見てる通りのね、いつものところだよ。ね、ワクワク。ね、かっこいいよな、ほんとね。UW。ジェーモンさんクライックスクリックスわかんない。ちょっと英語は読めない。誰かね、英語読める人がいればね、参加すればいいんだけどね。でも配信画面でもね、結構綺麗に見えてるじゃん。ね。結構綺麗に見えてればよかった。あと11分2秒。あともう少し。11分ってことは36分ぐらい始まるの。あと10分55。35分過ぎ始まるの。楽しみだ。僕は6歳からフォートナイトを始めて、8歳近く 8年ってことかな。8年近くやってるから上手くなりたい。本当のうち、大丈夫よ。言わなくて大丈夫よ。俺なんかあんのかなこれ。通訳みたいなのないかな。編集できないか。
日本代表のプレイスタイルってどんな感じですか？
日本代表だってこれ。
代表安定した立ち回りが一番大きいです。
いいねいいね。なんかないのかな。ちょっと待って。
今回はその初めてのオフライン大会でその他のリージョンの選手と比べてどうなると思いますか
？6歳でね始めるのはすごいよね。
プレイスタイル的に。
待って。
やっぱでも他の地域一発でかいのが大きいのでそれをしたいです。
ちょっと待って。なんかおかしいな。
We'd like to kind of one go.
Yeah. How about the games today? So you'll be playing.
そう上手くなりたい気持ちがあればね、それはいいことだ本当。素晴らしいと思うよ。お父さんにやりたいって言って、テストで100点取ったらって言うから頑張った結果、ナイスナイス。それはいいことだよ本当。ね、頑張ることは素晴らしいです。ね、応援するよ。
どう変えますかプレイスタイルを？そうですね、リプレイとか見て研究してきたので、
ほらリプレイを見て研究だって偉いよな。翔ちゃんこんばんは。ね、珍しいでしょ夜。
I can't wait to see how Yuma and Jamin do as they take to the battle bus later today.
観戦だ観戦。そう。まあね、見るのもね結構ね暇なのもあるかもしれないけど。何？このおばさん派手だな。そこから面白いな。まあね、ちょっと PC の方でね、ちょっとね、通訳みたいなのないのかなってちょっと見てね。ないか。さすがに。
And I'm going to be excited to see how this one actually plays out, because if we look at how Data's Insane performed yesterday as it pertains to the all-spawn situation, game number 1, they won against Cammy and Seti, right? And that was actually the only game where they actually made it into the end game and got any amount of points. After that, we saw in game number 5, they tried to switch it up as well, in which they tried to split the drop, but that didn't necessarily work out either.
ね、8名様も見てくれてありがとうございますね。
It is just going to be a full-out 50-50. We've seen Pamster, in fact, winning that a lot of times and putting a lot of practice into that drop spot. The only issue that they have so far
若いよな、本当ね、みんなね。
rotating on over. It's a very, very 50-50 drop spot. Even Pamster.
ね、開始までいつの間に変わるじゃん。もう6分52秒。楽しみだな。
It just didn't work out for them, so I do not see them giving this landing spot up because they know it so well.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, not to mention as well,
最初のシーンがかっこいいんだよ。始まるところね。
Every single major, and we've actually heard it, right? They had to suffer through an injury throughout the year, which, you know, they lost some practice throughout some of the majors. All in all, though, I'm excited to see them perform today.
Yeah, they qualified to the last chance major. This could be their moment, right? They just need that top 25. Guess what?
やっぱなんか日本語にするとかそういうのはないんだね。やっぱりね。通訳なんてそんな便利な機能なんかないか。さすがにないよね。ないね。
So how does it feel to be getting to compete again here in Copenhagen?
It's nice to have another chance now to prove ourselves again, and like we got to qualify today, being contested probably again, and we've been con the whole chapter, so we're pretty confident on our abilities off spawn, and then we just gotta know what to do, and like we got this. Like,
are you expecting to be contested at
本当派手でなこの人。
yeah, we are, but I think we're very ready for them to contest us, so we're not really scared or anything.
輝いてる下が。ね。
I think it's just by running a couple of 2v2s at Frenzy. We did that last night, so
ね、開始まであと5分25秒。何々ザジさんって読むのかな。チャプター3の頃に倒しかけたことあるの。おー、ね、知ってる人いるとね、いいよね。そうそうそうそう、ずずもちさん、その通りです、ほんと。日本語にね、そういう風にできたらね、配信もね、楽しいんだけど。選手よりおばさんが目になってる？でもね、あと5分後になったらね、選手がもうめっちゃ映るからね。
That sounds like we're Quebecois and there's not many of us, so we have to stick together. But I know that there's genuine love between you two as teammates. Can you tell me, Pamstu, about what it was like when Fatch did start to get his wrist injury at the end of last year because he had to take a month out and you decided to wait for him?
始まる前にも眠いんだけど、ワクワクするけどさ、眠い。
When he told me about it, I was kind of like upset, but I just knew that Fatch would when we
もう30分視聴してるよでも。
always be good, so I wasn't really stressed or
うん、
anything.
ちょうど30分視聴した。ね、みんなあれね、固定欄に書いてある通りね、島コード書いてあるからね、そっちに、飛んで無料報酬だけもらっちゃいましょう。
And I know you'd both like to speak, so if you'd like to take the middle spot, I'm gonna let the two of you speak to your fans.
よくわかんないけどみんな頑張れ。ね、サンダル君の声は届いてるよ。ね。始まるよ。3分50秒。残り。バスが鳴るんだよね。パッパーってね。
Thank you very much, Frankie. Yes, we are in the creator lounge and I'm here with Squatting Dog.
なのこのおじさん。全部機嫌が良さそうね。
Such a funny fella. It's actually your birthday, right?
It is my birthday, in fact, yes.
How are you celebrating your birthday?
Hopefully with Mama Benji Fishy and Kanata, because we're all
何なんか
sharing.
偉い人
Oh, wow, wow. Lots of birthdays today. We'll hope you're having a wonderful birthday. A great place to be on your birthday. Tell me, how's it been so far? How are you finding the atmosphere here in the arena?
ね、でっかいよね。硬いよね、ほんと。なんかわパンチでぶん殴られたら吹っ飛びそうだよ、ほんと。
The screen is massive. And like I think this is going to be an event that
ボディーガード役にいいんじゃない？
cherish for a very long time coming. So if you are here, we're so stoked you're here. This is a blast.
俺、ここの選手だったら始まったら何？寝てるわ。ね、ここにいる選手はね、もうみんなあれだからね、対空ね、当てれるってことだからね、もう。うまく降りないとね、いけないからね。
And then I think when I talk to a lot of people out there in the crowd, they're saying clicks, you know, and I think that's a common answer as well. So we hope the best for him as well, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Clicks is, you know, the guy that everybody wants to see. I have to ask you though, right? You know, people want me to ask this, so you know, this is coming like it's a very important question right now. How do you think you'd fare in a competition like this one?
Like this one?
Yeah.
何？エイムがいいのは分かったね。大会、普通の大会でもね、エイムいいもんね。みんなね。あと2分切ったよ。俺、ここの選手だったら、まあ、読んだね。
Yeah, I mean, you put those two together, you're bound to get a laugh, 100%. That's why we love them. Levin.
スイッチだから降りたら初動詞だ。でもね、ここにいる選手ね、みんなあれだよ。ここ、なんか PC でやってるよ、みんな。うん。
Guess what? We are getting ever closer to starting the competition. Why don't we send it on up to our casters to get us prepped?
PC でやってるね、みんなね。なんかディスクがね、あって、テーブルもあって、ね、そこでやってるから。なんかやっぱりそういうプロの選手っていうのは、やっぱりみんなね、練習してるんじゃないかな、PC で。
Yeah, and I don't think any one player has kind of an upper hand here today, because if we seen yesterday, I think there's a couple players that we're seeing today that everybody would have predicted to be at the top of that leaderboard, taking a break on to Sunday, and that's one thing everybody has to get through their mind. Nothing is guaranteed, everything is earned.
And just like that though, you have to keep in mind Everything has been building for this moment. These players have been waiting for their opportunity to find their seat on the battle bus for Global Championship Sunday. So we've got the stage set and ready to go.
始まるよ。ちょっと黙ってるね。誰だこの人。かっこいい。サイヤ人さん。かっこいい。ね、見に来てくれてありがとうございます。ね。サイヤ人さんは、ちょっと待って。ありがとうございます。ね、コメントしてくれてありがとうございます、本当。ね、またおばちゃんが歩いてるよ。始まるよ。おー、かっけー。トロフィー輝いてるよ。すごいねえ、ピカピカすぎるわ、ほんとこれ。やば。あ、選手が来るよ、入場。あー、かっけー。
And if there's any takeaways from their day one, it's that all it takes is one good game to break through.
And this is what they plan to do. Take a couple of those moments from yesterday, experience everything that they have learned, and put on a show for the Royal Arena.
あれは日本の座高選手いるんだよね。
Everyone wants today to be the start of something great, and it all begins with this competition.
And this is it. Lower bracket. Everybody's ready to take their seats. They're ready to start to play the game. You hear the chants of the crowd going loud. They're ready to make some noise.
どこにいるのかわからない。ね、緊張やばいだろうね、ほんとね。ね、こんな観客に見られてるんだから。ほら、やっぱりモニターがいっぱい置いてあるよ。やっぱ選手のところ。
You can feel it. You can feel it in the air. The tension is real. Yesterday, those players were a lot more animated. Today, the focus is next level. We saw them there for a moment. Kanada and Agers, a duo that if you had said they're going into the lower bracket, I would have said, nice, that's a funny joke. But here they find themselves.
Kanada and Agers, your Chapter 4, Season 3, Major 3 champions, coming straight out of NA, representing. Honestly, yesterday was a little bit rough for them. They were contested by the greats.
すごいな、ちょっとカメラもついてね。なんか筋トレの道具置いてあるね。握るやつ。
It's that when he is uncontested, every single game, he's going to find the damage needed for Storm Surge and find every single one of those end games.
Of course, and I mean, as you saw them on screen there for a moment, the French fans, we got a duo for you. It's Podesai, it's Snazy finding themselves here in the lower bracket, but the fight's not done.
42って何 ?42 ってこと違うプレスメント。
What can they do? What can they do? What can they change to make it happen today?
Yesterday wasn't great for them. It wasn't a great day. But they can come back. They can
ね、
definitely
みんな
come
なんか
back.
も
They
う
couldn't quite
集
make it
中
to
してる。
endgame yesterday. Surge a little bit of a problem for them. And we're talking about a duo in Snazy who has land experience. He was at the World Cup. I think they're going to need those fans today. I think they're going to need them
う
on
ん、やっ
top.
ぱりみんな PC だ
But it
ね
looks。like so far they're definitely
パ
doing
ッ
that.
ド、パッドと
For sure.
か
Now, of course,
キーボード
we've
が
seen
見え
these
る。
duos yesterday, but there's
う
25
ん、
from the
選手の
last
紹介だ
chance
ね。
major.
今も入場して、で、これから始まるか
So
な、
let's
そろ
go
そろ。
ahead and meet half of them right now.
Our first group of our last chance major qualifier teams, and let me tell you, they
うん、
hope
選手
that
来たよ、
it's
また。
not the last time that you see them here this
どうしたどう
weekend.
した
They're looking to put everything they've learned throughout the year to the test here against some players that already have the experience on the stage.
Well, just because it's their first time on stage does not mean it's their first time competing. They are familiar with what it
上位
takes
の人が入場ってこと
themselves the victory royales that matter most so they can keep their ticket punch for the global championship.
And with their backs up against the wall, they realize the situation that they're in. It is go big or
あ
go
めっちゃマッチョな
home.
人い
And
た。
let me tell you, with a long flight for some of these guys, they don't plan on making that come to fruition. This is just one group of so many superstars you're going to see this
何しに来た
entire
んだろう。
weekend.
あ、座ってんのか、一緒。
A high-profile duo, Janice and Reason will finally get to take the stage.
マッチョいた。ね、筋肉マッチョだと思っ
What
た
can we。expect from this duo from EU?
We can expect excitement, right? We have Janice, the big brain IGL, FNCS winning pedigree across
全然わから
different
ない。
seasons. Reason
7位って書いてある。
fighters in EU still. And I'm surprised it's taken them to the last chance major to qualify for today. I mean, after day number one of major one of grand finals, they were in first place. They had an incredible performance, but ended up coming third in that major, so just missing out on a spot. They had a little bit of contestation issues in the last chance major as well.
あれは神選手っていないの
Their way through, but I'm glad they are here because they can put on a show.
Absolutely, and a duo from NA, Scented, Polarized. Now, of course, we know Scented has kind of shuffled around a couple times, but
誰
now paired up with
わかる
Polarized.
わかんない。
For maybe fans that aren't familiar with them, that are watching the Globals for the first time, David, what can you tell us about this duo?
I mean, Scented is going to be the brains of this duo, throwing it back to Invitational, where we saw him alongside Cold. But coming into this year, the search for a new duo began, and honestly, he didn't really find his feet until it was Major 3, where he picked up Polarized, but they found no success there. And then, of course, the last chance major is where they clutched up. If it's anything that I know about Scented, he's going to be looking towards the low ground. He loves being down there, especially when he was alongside Cole. It looked like they just ran through anybody.
なんか今日始まるの遅くない
I'm expecting to see more of that today.
You know what I'm expecting to see? The last half of the duos from the last chance major.
眠くなってくる。ずっと同じ画面見てると。まだ入場いつまで入場するんだよ。日本人来るんじゃないのでも。
Global Championship Battle Bus is leaving with or without you. It's time to see which
ね、まだいるんだね。
claim their seats.
Those seats are a hot commodity this weekend. Only 50 teams will be able to make it there. We saw half of them qualify yesterday. Today, we will secure our final entrance onto that battle bus. Who do you want to see take it all?
っていうか、なんかあれだな。コメントが画面に出てこない。ちょっと待って。待って。あれ
I need to give you a job as just my hype man. I just need you to follow me around and hype
ちょっと
up
待ってね。
everything that I do. But man, oh man, now we have the full lobby of players Now, we wanted to highlight one in particular here for you. It's Kirby and it's Wikasi. Now, originally, they were part of two separate duos, but their duo mates couldn't make it. So now they've been allowed to come together and form one duo for the Global Championship.
This is a really interesting storyline. Kirby and Wixie, of course, coming from different regions, a little bit of a language barrier potentially there, so they're going to have to sort of use the in-game tools to communicate, landing it to the north side of the map, just to the west of Sanguine Sweets. Really interesting drop spot. I think they might have a few issues with Storm Surge.
多分この会場では売ってるんじゃないかな。
Just outside of that drop to take advantage of them, but anything can happen. This is why I wanted to talk about this, Gio, because literally anything can happen. We've never seen them play together before, so literally, who knows what's going to happen?
It's a little bit of an X factor, right? You never know what could happen, and Fortnite loves to do this thing where when you don't know what could happen, that's when the craziest thing.
でもね、なんかこの画面にしてるとね、なんかコメント表示がね、モニターに出てこないんでね。だから携帯か PC で見るしかない。これ同じ人が1位ってこと？今。全くわからない。ブラバード
But of course, it's the lower bracket, it's Fortnite, it's the global championship. We love to
always have
a little bit of drama in there. And I was checking out socials a little bit earlier on this morning, and it looks like Suns and Anon might be switching over to contest this duo. So my eyes are going to be towards that fight as we jump in for these first couple of games.
That is crazy. And if I remember correctly, these guys were at Invitation, all right? So they already have some LAN experience. Do you feel like that could play a factor coming in today?
Yeah, I mean, we have
ところでいつになったら始まるの？
especially the ones that have been, you know, together when it comes to an international event or just playing in
皆さん何時から始まりますかね、こちら。
One half of them kind of have that experience as well. So I'll be excited to see, you know, if they can kind of take the reins and make sure that they stay cool, calm, and collected under the pressure.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned they're now contested because that just shows what the lower bracket can do. Anything can happen. These guys would have been preparing to be uncontested. Now they are contested by Suns and Anon. I mean, that's going to throw a huge spanner in the works, and that is crazy because they would have been preparing. Yes, we're going to rotate here to get our surge, go and landing us. We'll be chilling. We'll be enjoying ourselves. Next thing you know, two Australians. They're flying.
日本人映んないね。そう、眠くなってきたよ、自分も。もう30分視聴してるからさ、一応さ、もうさ、もう見なくても別に大丈夫なんだよね、本当は。ただ、一戦ぐらいはね、ちょっと配信で映したいな。
Either 6 games one day or a total of 12, right? Spread across. Only 5 games, though it's one less. It sounds like
今47分配信してる。
that much harder.
Yeah. I mean, it's extremely tough. And one thing that I want to talk about, right, when it comes to the mentality that the players must be thinking about to qualify to the global championship, right, for these upper bracket teams, you pretty much had to place bare minimum top 10, right? And that's EU. That was a very, very large region. But for a lot of the smaller regions, it was a lot tighter for that, right?
So 一戦だけはね、頑張って自分起きるわ。うん。
Yesterday, they had to get bottom 25, right? So surely that's kind of affecting the mental a little bit. But then those last chance major teams,
ちょっとね、見てみたい、こういうね、ちゃんと。
Right, the last one to actually make it to the global championships, they clutched up. Today is a clutch situation.
Yeah, and one team that's synonymous with clutch, Steno and Lucy. I was speaking to a few
何時から始まるか分かる人います？今見てる方で。
Is it Steno and Lucy? And they're Danish as well, of course. This is a fantastic. I'm excited.
この方は9って方は9位ってこと？分からん。ポイントが212ポイントってこと？今。
I really love watching them play. They just seem to know how each other play so well. They vibe off each other so well as well. And of course, they have LAN experience as well. They did so great at Gamers Day. I think it was last year they did so great. So I'm excited to see if they can continue and bring that LAN experience, that chemistry that they have in a LAN environment.
みんなね、専用 T シャツ着てかっこいいね。
Yeah, for sure. So let's say, you know, we have these 5 games. Do we just send everything, right? At this point, we've got to make top 25. You could argue maybe just try and do something and kind of keep any kind of strategy secret and just hope that you can kind of save that for tomorrow. With only 5 games, though. Is that enough wiggle room, man? I feel like it's just not. You just got to go full send now.
あ、スキン選んでるね、選手の人、みんな。始まるんじゃない？もうスキン選んでるってことは。
people who like to play a little bit more passive, and then we have those aggressive duos, ones that are looking for those one pop-off games with 10+ eliminations. I'll be excited
まあもう日本時間もうあれですよ、もう11時50分ですよ、もう11、49分か、12時になっちゃうよ。
If things go wrong and you have to pull out the grand final strategy, then do it. Because if you don't do it now, you might not even make it to the grand final. So there's no point in hiding them away. We saw some great strats yesterday from Zagu and Pepper with using the shield mushrooms to get some extra surge. Some great ideas from these teams that.
That too. I mean, social media yesterday and even today was just like, what is their strategy? Yes, that's what we want to see. We want to see what they're thinking, what they're cooking, and then come out tomorrow. And that could be like the difference maker, them winning and becoming global champions. That would just be wild. Another duel, you know, we cannot not talk about them. It's King, it's Phaser. They did not make the top 25, but yesterday, King hit just the most disgusting snipe shots. The double back-to-back to the dome. To secure surge.
43位だともう厳しいだろうね。42
I mean,
ポイン
that's
ト。
just skill. Seriously, there's no like coach, there's no Vaudeville, and that'll allow you to hit those shots. So, you know, obviously the skill is on this duo. It's just all about clutching up, right? Finding the cohesion. And I think today they're actually switching up their drop slots. So I'll be excited to see if it ends up working out for them in that regard.
Yeah, they're sort of switching up the way that they drop all the way down there at the Relentless Retreat. We saw them sort of contesting a team there yesterday. It was Cal Gamer and Sevenman. They're both still going there, but they're doing it in a different sort of way. I'm interested to see how that all spawn goes. I think for both teams, it didn't really work out. They were both sort of stuck in no man's land. What's going on? Are we going to try and fight? Are we going to try and disengage? I didn't even know what was going on there, so maybe they're going to try and be a little more structured today. They're going to either fight or they're going to disengage. I think it's going to be the latter because the stakes are that much higher.
You saw him on screen there for a moment. Kanata.
いつ始まるんだ。
Let's bring it back, okay? Kanata Agers going up against Thomas HG yesterday. It felt pretty one-sided, right? They had a couple games off spawn. Are they contested today?
Nope.
寝てた寝てたか。
Yeah, well, that's what I would say.
無理しないでおくれ、ほんと。
But Kanata, you know, he had the socials. He was like, yeah, we only made it off spawn 2 games. And both of those games, headshots.
Yeah.
Headshot snipes actually were the ones that actually ended up closing out their games for them in both of those scenarios. So maybe there's something they have to switch up a little bit there, maybe a little bit.
まあ2日目の報酬はもうやってもらえたから、うん。
But I'm sure they can do it.
30分視聴したから、OK。ねえ、いつ始まるんだろうね、これね。このままずっと喋ってるわけじゃないよね。休みは12時まで起きてるんで、あと9分でもう12時だね、もう。
Well, I'm getting word. It is that time. We are about to kick off
始まるか
the
ら。
lower bracket of Global Championship Day number 2. So, casters, take us in.
Now is the moment you have all been waiting for. Game 1 of the lower bracket is ready to get underway. And Taco, if
また
I
派
had
手
a
な
seat here,
ね、
I would
人
be
映
on
っ
the
てるよ。
edge of my seat ready to call this action.
You can feel the nerves that have just been kicking the entire time. Everyone here is just
何
wide awake.
けど、12、これでも寝ないけど。始まるよ、マッチが。まだ入場してくる？どういうこと？始まるだろ。お、始まる。
The continued journey for others. We've already seen some drop spots being switched up. Other players are sticking straight to the plan. But we're going ahead and looking at some of these contested battles right out of the game. Reason and Janice going up against Curb and Whiskey a little bit. But it looks like they're actually going to split off. They don't want to go ahead and hold on to one spot. And as soon as they realize it's safe, they go back to the game plan.
Up at the far north side, Giannis immediately heading for this crude harbor drop. It seems as though Giannis and Reason
ね、今日は早かったんだ。もうキルしてるよ。早っ。早すぎだろ。
Yeah, this is his continued journey from yesterday. He fell below that top 25 threshold, looking to make up for it here today. Pamstu and Fatch, on the other hand, they thought they were going to have a huge contested battle. We saw it yesterday, but it doesn't look like Sands and Data are going to go ahead and
この人、あれ持ってるじゃん。チャンピオン、ほら、チャンピオンアクセっていうんだっけ？ペポ、サゴ選手応援してんの？もう始まってんじゃないのこれ。
it's going to be Suns and Anon.
うわー、同じとこにいるね。あ、FNCS のスキンみたいな。ね、チャンピオンアクセルね、あれね。おー。うわ、当てた。
Party shots already interrupting this off-spawn battle. That's going to force Adapter back, and he might have to go ahead and loot. He only has one combat SMG, and not much to work with. But while they giving him time, that's FKS. They're trying to put the pressure on, so that way his teammate can get a better loadout.
But at the same time, they're just letting the capture point go for free, and in fact, it seems as though there is some danger hanging on over by Naughty Nets. Saw a nice
あ、ゴースト君こんばんは。ありがとう。今日はね、FNCS じゃなくて、このチャンピオンなんていうんだっけ、グローバルチャンピオンシップの観戦中で。動きが速いんだけど、ほんと。ほら。すごいよ、動きが。で、感度がめっちゃ速そう。目指せ、神さんもこれぐらいFNCS? いや、自分はね、もう手遅れですね。何このツルハシ、さっきの。なんだろう。あ、ジャンゴロさん、観戦配信ファイト、ありがとうございます。いやもう眠くなってきてたんだけど、試合が始まったから眠気がちょっと冷めたかな。ジャンゴロさん、ここにはあれですよ、ゼロキル侍はいないですよ、この大会には。ね、やっぱりね、屋根編集でね、覗くやつはね、やっぱこういうプロの方でも、やっぱ使うんだね。オールする気満々deep in the jungle biome here at Rumble Ruins, especially in this lower elevation territory, he might be able to sneak up on some other teams.
Yeah, I like the way you mentioned Surge as one of the first things, because yesterday, if it's shown us anything, Surge is not the easiest thing to come by.
これを当てるもんね。やばいよ、ほんと。編集が早い。建築も早い。ほら。ね、早すぎる、ほんと。
And on the other side of things, it is going to be Bully and Shadow.
But look at this hype battle as well between Pink and Bully. Both of them trying to provide cover fire for their fraggers down below.
これあれだよね。あれで。なんていうスキンだっけ？忘れちゃった。
Again, you have to keep some form of a barrier between yourself and another team. Bully just trying to do what he can as far as making sure that he's able to suppress Pink in the process, but they're not trying to give up any sort of resources for free here.
Yeah, and you can kind of already see in the mini map just a little bit. You've seen it here. Bully and Shadow. They have no intention on trying to take that engage. They split up.
そう、レベルが違いすぎる。ね、単独コードしないもんね。ちゃんとマップの方もさ、見るとさ、やっぱ固まってるね、ちゃんとね。あ、誰かリブートされた。ね、なんか観客からもね、声援されてる。うわ、すごいところにね、建築するね、ほら。へえ、こういう戦法もあるんですね。もう一人はどこ行ったの？これ。あ、離れてるし。
use this to try to qualify. We'll figure it
す
out
ごいよあ
later
れ
because that's
なん
the
か
biggest things. At this
クリ
stage
エ
of
の
the
マッ
game,
プであるよね
there's
ああいうの
no
ね
reason to save
ああいう
all
建
your
築の
secrets for that championship Sunday because you have to be able to make it there. Mini Miner said it himself to open up the show. Because what good are those strategies? What good are those tricks underneath your sleeves if you're not able to use them in the biggest
いっ
moments
ぱいいる
possible?
Trouble now. Not for Podesai just yet.
ねこれぐらいのレベルだとさ何点当たったとかさあんま分かんないね早すぎて
Down beneath him, and as for Shalom and MK Papa, they want to take their time. I mean, kind of tough to try and fight that uphill battle, quite literally. So
こ
instead,
こはどこにいるのか全く分かんない
just continue to wait things out, wait for a better opportunity to look for a
早い編集がそうもあと
side
40
of
秒
where these zone pulls are happening because, again, for Podesai, it seems as though the intent is just to prioritize positioning.
One team that changed their positioning overall to another. King, Phaser. You can already see that over towards Shadow Slab. Zone is pulling all the way towards the eastern side of the map. They have a long journey to go, and you can even see it at
戦ってるところ見たいよ
the
ね
city here on Pink and Vico. So they have even more rotations
で
to
も
go
レス
later
パ
on
が
in
ちょっ
the
と
game.
攻めてきてるね
For now, it's Batman, Booga, and Rapid who beat them to
お
the
来てる
the top of the hill, just west of Mega City. And they
Mega
immediately got
City?
out of Mega City because that's one of the things we talked about to start the show is how contested it actually is. They could easily take a building on top, but they're taking a little bit of the safer route or what they thought it would be because right now Pink and Vico are slowly but surely looking like they're going to try and sneak up and see if they have any opportunity to take over.
音ガクンってなって頭打った大丈夫かスマホで打った大丈夫か
You can already see some shots, though, coming from a little bit of a distance here. Rapid just trying to be wary of the surroundings, and it makes perfect sense why you'd want to ditch from Mega City ASAP when there's 4 separate teams
いやメガシティもね結構占領されてるね
to actually deal with. So why risk it when every single game can be so
うんうん遅くまでね無理しないでねほんとね
not necessarily getting max resources, max materials. It's not as bad as it
もう
might
12時になってんじゃん
they can always
もう
find the refreshes after the fact because again storm surge strategies were definitely an issue for a lot of teams in day 1 and this is day 2. It's not like the competition's gotten any less.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of these teams taking that
めいめいもやばいね無理しないでねこの結果ね見れるからね結局自分はこの一戦が終わるまではなんとか頑張るよ
back up as a duo, but as you can see in the minimap, they
Oh,
are
45
split up. They called out this strategy to start the game. They're trying to cover more ground. They're trying to take more space away. This also allows them to get better lines of sight around the map for their Storm Surge. They already know what has happened in the past when Storm Surge is lacking. It forces you to make
もう
plays.
日曜日になってるね
Have control over the game,
そう
and
ね
they are
エイム
trying
が
to
良
do
すぎ
their
ほんと
best to keep control of their own destiny.
It's definitely something that has haunted Mr. Savage and Vidil all chapter long as far as Major 3 was concerned, even leading into that last chance major where we saw them switching up their drop spot even over to Drift Ridge.
あ後ろから来てんじゃんなんか
Mr. Savage is mentioning he doesn't like to be contested. Sure, they got it uncon then, but it's still never easy whether you're uncon or contested as far as establishing a solid Storm Surge strategy.
Yep, Fanayan and Moneymaker. Moneymaker probably one of our youngest players competing here today, showing that anything
お
is truly
あズズモチさん眠いのでおしますおやすみなさいありがとうございますこんな遅くまでありがとうございますまたよろしくお願いしますあめいめいはもうちょっと見るありがとうね全然ほらね結果はね見れるからさ無理しないでほんとね一戦だけでもねちょっとあ戦ってるアルバだってアルバユーマとかユーマって書いてある日本の選手と戦ってる何ヒーロースキン結構使ってる人ねうわ対空だほらさっきの日本の選手どうなっちゃったの
adding more to their own Storm Surge. Weapon cache are going to be there, and you can see Yuma and Jaemon probably share that same weapons cache.
あいるねいるいる大丈夫大丈夫
Snazy and Podesai leave off of this spot to try to pick up the
いつでも、寝れるようにベッドに行きます。了解了解。大丈夫だよ。リプレイ。
And hey, we're talking about Storm Surge so often for Pink and Vico.
おー。
Be a massive contributing
や
factor
ば。
in that elimination onto Oakis, just taking full advantage of that 2v1 situation. And that's something that's not necessarily going to be easiest to come by at this stage of the game.
ね、減ってきたね。
And for Rapid and Mambuga, again we revisit, we talk about the fact they left Mega City so early, and they just haven't managed yet to find that pressure situation to actually secure eliminations or the refreshes that they would like. And they don't necessarily have time to just farm resources either, because there's other teams moving in at this point. There's other teams already establishing good positioning off of earlier rotation. So if you trying to expand
そうそうそうそう、みんなね、無理なくね、自分の寝れる位置でね、うん。寝落ちでも大丈夫よ。何このスキン、初めて見るんだけど。うわ、メガシね、撃たれてんね。こんなね、身近に敵いるんだもんね。あ、エイムさんじゃん、DFM。メガシー占領してるよ、DFM の。あ、コウコさん、こんばんは。ありがとうございます。今日はね、FNCS の観戦を、ね、固定欄の方に、まあ、このコードを入力して30分視聴すると無料のね、もらえます。ね、こんな時間にね、配信してるなんてね、珍しいっていうかね、多分ココさんは自分がこんな時間に配信してるの初めて見るかもしれない。でもね、結構ね、自分はね、こういう大会系のやつはね、なんか放置配信とかね、結構やってるんですよね。
There's nobody up there, but when everybody thinks the same, now we have 4 teams on top of Rift Island ready to battle it out. One of them, Henan Vask, 141 above the damage threshold.
ね、建築がね、やばい、これ、ほんと。俺なんかやばいじゃん、ほら。ね、覗いてる。屋根編集でね。自分もたまにやる。ね、プロの真似。ね、その形だけね。
who were able to get an elimination on Mr. Savage before he even hit the ground. Then we saw Steno be able to find a key, which he used to unlock a mythic shotgun. Quickly, they regrouped, built up a surge tower, and as you can see, they have vision on two duos of Jaden and Kanata, setting themselves up for an excellent mid and late game. Let's see how they do.
Only time will tell to see how it pays off. They definitely got themselves a good spot in the zone thanks to those plays.
And
that's the thing too about those teams that are landing more towards the south side. It is so easy for other teams with slightly earlier drops to just
夜に神ちゃんの声が聞けるのレアですね。なかなかね、夜配信はもっとやらないから。
Easy to say that anything can happen in these circumstances.
You can see it started at 181 above the damage threshold. Pamstu and Fatch slowly falling back down.
ね、でもね、今これもう海外のね、あれ英語でずっと解説してるから、ね、何喋ってるか、全くわからないと思うけど、私がね、代わりに喋るんで。すごいよ、ほんと、周りが建築だらけ、ほら。あ、めいめい、あ、寝る？あ、了解、めいめい。遅くまでありがとうね、ほんとね。ありがとう。ね、またね、ぜひね、遊びに来てね。今度はこう FNCS 観戦じゃなくてね、普通の参加型ね、よかったら遊びに来てね。 ゆっくり寝てね。ね。まだね、日付変わったけど、まあ、日曜日だからね。ゆっくり休んで、ね。素敵な日曜日を過ごしてね。あ、空島。すごいことになってるよ、ほら。空島。また遊びに来る。あ、了解、ありがとうね。ゆっくり休んでね。おやすみ。私も、明日仕事なので寝ます。あ、了解です、ココさん。ゆっくり休んでね。明日からまた、明日からじゃないか。明日もね、また頑張ってください。ありがとうございます。あれ、間違えちゃう。ココさんの固定になってる。間違えちゃう、間違え。横になりながらさ、ちょっと今さ、コメント欄見てたら、間違えちゃった、間違えちゃった。ちょっと一回、やり直した。あれ。ちょっと待って。さっきの固定のやつが消えちゃった。待って待って。もう一回コード調べとかないと。待って。間違えちゃった。along this edge of zone and teams needing to move even further in, players like Yuma are bound to get caught out on those later rotations.
Yeah, you can see they're even willing to risk it. Shalom and MK Papa, they got the elimination, or at least they saw it towards the backside of zone, but they didn't have very many materials at all. So it was almost an all or nothing situation if they want to keep as best chance as possible for them to try to stay alive. I see a Vico. I don't see Pink. You got to imagine, he is by himself as a solo, and he's suffering to surge right now. 13 below the threshold. Now he's in zone. Everything crumbling down. Only a few seconds to try to land the shot that matters, and he's not going to be given that opportunity. Down goes Pink. Down goes Vico. 一応あれだよ、時間的には遅いからさ、モデさんも寝ていいからね。もうこれ試合もう少しで終わるし、無理しなくていいから。
Next to Agers, trying to be vigilant with his awareness. And again, so
小もね、全然だし、全然自分で対応できるから大丈夫だよ。寝ていいよ。おう、カリくん。今日はグローバルチャンピオンシップの観戦。
Gotta imagine Moneymaker went down earlier on in this same game. You saw Polarize, the one that took down Snazy, leaving Podesai by himself. At least he's above the damage threshold for now, but quickly falling below. Now he knows he's gonna have to try to find and catch somebody off guard, because otherwise he's gonna have no choice but to try to get in the box, slowly but surely biding his time, trying to make sure that he makes the right play. And this is an opportunity for him.
何がどうなってるのか全くわからん。わからん。
That at least allows him to breathe, restabilize himself in that position. Edgy goes down outside of zone. It wasn't a knock. So Duke and Edgy are also out of this game. Action is moving so fast, and we're not even into the placement points yet.
The zone pull
何になった？
for some of these teams as it just keeps getting closer and closer to that edge side.
いや、すごいね。うじゃうじゃいるよ。うわ。ロケットラン。うお、当たった。
Only has those mini shield potions, won't actually get an opportunity to get full shields. And for Agers, this is even worse.
Yeah, he only has 23 HP, doesn't have time to sit
back.
Nice shot.
倒した。すごい。
Because now he's boosted up in the mats. He has a little bit more HP to work with. The flopper, the med kit he can use in game, and if him Kanata.
おお、当てる。30。まだやったよ。ほら。やば。
Championship run. The Cypher's going to be picked up, but he has to get to zone. This is a 5-tick. Time
ね、チャンピオンアクセ持ってるし、この人。
Miracle landing in the palm of Ager's hands.
He's trying to do what he can
や
to
ば
make
この
it
人
across,
強
but
っ
this hill phase is just so problematic. Still, the med miss plus the med kit, he just doesn't
いっ
have
ぱいい
the
る
mobility
人
that he'd be hoping for. With so many teams having already pushed in, he might just barely make it.
まだ
in
い
the
ない
nick
ぞ
of time. He's got to find another site.
自分はとりあえずこの一戦終わったらもう寝ようかな。さすがにちょっと最後までな、ちょっと見る気力ないわ。
Minis being dished out, and they are back into the game. The resurgence from day one as we get a replay from Clicks and Epicwell.
うわ、やば。あ、当たってる当たってる。
Aggressed on due to Storm
う
Surge,
わ
and they shine
やば。
Storm Surge is not a problem from them as they pick up
ね、
two
こんなに
eliminations.
うじゃうじゃいるからね、まだね。
Check out where Bryce
怖い
and
んだ
Chubbs
けど。
are at, a little bit more isolated than some of these other teams that are trapped inside of all
う
this
わ、何こ
congestion.
れ。
Mr. Savage and Badil, though,
レベル高すぎだろ。
at the beginning of this game, they have done a decent, if not a phenomenal job at putting themselves
すごいよ、ほら。マップ見てみよう。うじゃうじゃうじゃうじゃ。
Some of these teams who were asking, you got what it takes to get your ticket onto the battle bus. What about the roller coaster this team's going through?
やば。
Down the mountain, across the rivers, over towards Naughty Nets. I think best case scenario, honestly, Taco, is it going south, continuing on towards that
さすがにこれいい PC 使ってないと無理だよ。当てていくからね。うわ、またやられた。
these perfectly timed rotations from Clicks,
すごいな。
managing to find these players who are looking to just find that final push inward. But
この
again, this
建築のスピード。
play from that backside of the zone. Still, Clicks, Epic trying to be careful, and we are getting a little glimpse here of a team that's
私が普通に来た
whether or not Fishy and DMK are going to be able
もう少しでもう終わるんじゃないもう移動ね。
for the time being, they look well
移
situated
動アン
to
チ。
carry themselves into the top 10 at least.
すごいよ、この戦い。 このレベルにはさすがについていけない。いやでも頑張ろう。ね。ハイグラ取ってんじゃん、さっきの選手。おっと倒していく。いやでも、あ、やばいやばい。
Mr. Savage trying to keep himself alive. Storm Surge isn't a worry, but it's the HP, it's the zone that's pulling away.
うん、なんか下になんか泳いでる、やられてるもん。どんどんやられていく。やばいよ。うわあー、おい、戦争じゃん。5打目、5打目。5打目じゃないまだ。2？ いや、5打目だ。おっとっと。うわあ。とりあえず自分は、高評価落ち。ありがとう。またね、参加型やってれば遊ぼう。またね。あ、神選手もまだいるね。
Destroying so many builds in the process, these players continue to rotate through, but that materials refresh is going so far, and it's actually Bryce and Chumps now at the top of the lobby, but builds running incredibly low.
Yeah, multiple top 10 performances
in
the major this year. I think Bryce and Chumps are one of the teams that are falling under the radar. They're ready to make a statement, just like the men, but he runs out of time, runs out of space. He goes down as his med miss runs dry.
やばいやばいやばい。
Another mini going to be popped. The patience. It's so hard to be patient through all this chaos as well. It's so easy to get distracted and think, okay, this is the perfect time to strike. A drop down to the low ground here for Kanata. Recognize the fact that he's got some players directly above him. Still has a couple of mini shield pushes he can utilize. Source on the other hand won't make it through. Cooper going absolutely nuclear with the back-to-backs here.
すごいサブマン。わっと GG。すごい。やば。GG。かっこいい。
How are you feeling? I mean, my friends up in the casting booth would like to know, so
やば。
I will ask you first, Bryce.
I'm feeling good.
Are you feeling a little bit overwhelmed about the fact that you just took a victory royale here on land in Copenhagen?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
I can understand why you might be nervous. I do have a very
あ、でも
scary
だ。
face. So I'm going to come over to you, chaps. Talk me through the last moments of
かっ
that game.
こいい。
We just took high and we won.
You took high. Okay, well, talk to me about the journey there. Did you feel like the zone was in your favor the whole time?
No, it wasn't at all.
Okay, well, how did you get around that situation then? How are you able to make the most of what maybe wasn't the most ideal situation?
Just we got surge and we had forecast. So we just
ポケットに手
went
突っ
where
込んで
the
喋ってる。
There you go. Simple. Everyone hopefully listening here will find out how to win a victory royale on land thanks to these two. Just before I let you go, do you think you can overcome the nerves and pick up another
よ
victory
し、
royale
19
today?
分だからな。このインタビュー終わったら終わりにするかな。
Brilliant. Wow, you know what? Now you've said that, I think you can too. Copenhagen, please give it up for Bryce and Chubbs!
おー。よし、じゃあ終わりにしよう。2戦目ね、まだ時間かかるだろ。始まるのにね。
You know, I thought the games yesterday were crazy, but game number 1 of the
じゃあこ
lower
こで終わり
bracket
にしま
does
しょう。
not disappoint
戻ろう。ちょ
Bryce
っと待って。
and Chubbs.
よし、戻るわ。バイバイ。
To just help them get ahead of the storm, even though they were in the toughest spot, it didn't matter. They were able to adapt. Yes, there's
ね、選手の皆さんお疲れ様。じゃあ昼っていうか昨日アイテムショップやってないからアイテムショップのおさらいだけやっちゃおうか。ね。なんかロビーに戻れないんだけど。よし、オッケー。なんか音楽が変わってる。ちょっと待って。音楽が。なんかラグいね。一応昨日のアイテムショップね、まあ X の方では、ツイートしてるんでねやってるんですけど、まあフィッシュのねスティックの、ニュースキンこちらの方ですね。でツルハチの方がウィッチャーアクスですね。でラップがこんな感じで、次がクラックショット、シーズン1で導入、おもちゃの兵隊みたいな感じのやつですね。でツルハチでスノーグローブ、シーズン7で導入で、モードでクラックダウン、シーズン7で導入。ね、デイリーでスカーレットディフェンダー、シーズン3で導入。で、ファイター、シーズン1で導入。選手の皆さんお疲れ様、さようなら、夢を見てきます。あ、おやすみ。ね、こんな感じです。ね、森の小屋。ね、DC シリーズ。DC シリーズ。で、アイコンシリーズ。ね、今日、日曜日のね、午後じゃない、午前9時のね、アイテムショップでどうなるかね。そこが注目だね。ね、あとはレベルクエストパックで特別オファーと、バンドルだね。こんな感じです。よし。じゃあ今日の配信はね、一戦見たから、じゃあこんな感じで今日の配信はこれで終了します。皆様ご視聴の方ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。